Hello, gorgeous soul. Welcome to your May astrology. It's all kicking off. It's really intense. Now, I'm going to begin with something that means you're going to have to do a little bit of homework. We have a major karmic shift as the nodes are shifting signs. So we have the North Node going into Gemini and the South Node going into Sagittarius. And you're like, what's the nodes, Michelle? Go onto my website, get your free natal chart, which has a description, work out where your nodes are. Yeah, and then you will find out a massive shift is coming, and it will help you find out which area. And it's all about a karma change. Our karma is changing. Happens every 18 months, but it gives us a fresh way to evolve and transform and change our reality. So I'm not going to talk about that here, but it's really important that you find out where your nodes are, particularly if it turns out that your nodes are in Gemini or Sagittarius, because it means there's a big breakthrough coming for you. Anyway, aside from that, it's a massive month. We have Jupiter and we have Saturn and we have Venus going retrograde. It's full on. There's such learning and fingers crossed, the opportunity for empowerment. Here's your monthly astrology. Hello, magnetic, charismatic, and intense Scorpio. Well, this month kicks off with a full moon in your sign. Yeah, baby. The full moon has got your name written all the way through it like a stick of rock. So how are you going to use this full moon energy? It can be intense. Let's face it, full moons are intense anyway because they drag up everything from our subconscious. They make us super emotional and very, very intuitive and psychic. But when it's in your sign, can you imagine? It's like 12 times as powerful. You're feeling things, you're knowing things, you're immersing yourself in your emotions. And you're being given messages from the cosmos about which direction to go in and what you should do next. Try not to get paranoid though. It's easy to get a little bit paranoid on the day of the full moon. When afterwards then the reality and the wisdom and the messages come up. But kind of be aware that you're very emotional. You also should have super powerful dreams. And I mean, have a full moon group with your friends. Do it on your own. Sit with that moon. Sit with a pen and paper. Go old school and say, what is the message for me? And just start writing and see what comes to you. It's definitely worth doing something with that moon. That is for sure. Then we have Mercury, the planet of communication, trining Pluto, your ruler, as we know, the Lord of transformation and endings and beginnings and everything in between. And then we have Mercury trine Jupiter. So that's very, very intense for you. And it's about your personal relationships and communicating. You're changing the way you communicate. You're changing the way you communicate in partnerships, and you're changing the way that you communicate in love relationships. Or it may be that there's a conversation and you're going to say, you have to change the way that you communicate. But of course, hopefully taking responsibility for your part in it, because it's shift. You're like, I'm shifting this now. And believe me, there will be a shift there. Then Mercury goes into your primal zone, but you live in the primal zone anyway. Suddenly, in the way that you communicate, you want answers. You're diving deep. You sense, you're a psychic detective. You can sense what's going on in other people. You can look at them and go, right, I feel what you mean and I can feel what you're not saying. So use those skills. But again, don't let it make you maudlin. It's very difficult from being in a different position, which makes you psychic and see the fluffy stuff. You're psychic and you're seeing the underbelly of everything that's going on. But it makes you very intuitive and very intense. And those eyes of yours are looking into the soul of other people with even more intensity than usual. Saturn is going retrograde in your home and family zone. You may be reflecting on the lessons you've learned with your family. You may be looking at what, when we grow up, it has a big influence on us. What were the rules in your family? What were the responsibilities? How did your parents view responsibility? How did you view responsibility within that family structure? And even if you didn't have a family structure, what structure did you need? Or if you were in an environment where you felt imprisoned by other people's values, how has your life changed because of that? All of that is going to be treasure at a later point. Mars is shifting signs and going into your position of joy and happiness. And frisky, let's have some intimacy zone. So from the middle of the month, you're like, I'm feeling joy. There's a sort of an optimistic boost. There's a joyful, bouncy, tiggerish vibe to you, and also one that just wants to express romance and what's in your heart. So that's great, because it does definitely cheer you up. Venus is going retrograde in your obsession, power, powerless zone, money and abundance zone. You'll be reflecting on your intimate relationships. Well, your relationship with money and abundance, but also your relationships with people, and whether there were any financial differences in your relationship, whether one of you was obsessed and the other one wasn't, whether you've ever been addicted to relationships or indeed addicted to money, and you're being taken back to kind of cleanse that and transform it. Jupiter is also going retrograde in your communication zone. You've done a lot of work with the cosmos on the way that you communicate, and it's just like going back to see if there's any treasure you missed. Were there any ideas in your past which were brilliant ideas that you didn't use? Now is the time to go and reclaim those ideas. We then have the sun shifting signs and going again into that potent, intense, psychic detective, passionate, steamy power zone. So people are looking at you and sensing your power, and you're sort of, strutting your stuff in a truly Scorpio way this month. Then we have the new moon in that position. And it's not just the new moon, it's Venus, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Vesta, and the North Node. So there is a peak connected to your primal zone. So it's about your fears, it's about sexuality, it's about money, it's about what makes you feel powerless, what makes you feel powerful. And because it's a new moon, you're able to let go of the past and let go of ideas that no longer serve you in that area. And you're able to shift into a brand new cycle, a brand new beginning around your power and around your sexuality. It's huge. So definitely put some work into reflecting on those things and dialoguing with yourself about your feelings in those areas. Then finally, we have Mercury conjunct the North Node, your karma and where you're going with your power. And then Mercury shifts on the same day and goes into your adventure zone, and you're feeling much lighter, and that sort of digging around and ferreting around in the psychic soup of other people's souls is transformed into you coming back out into the world. Take care, you gorgeous creature. Don't forget to visit me on Instagram at Michele Knight, and I'll speak to you soon. Hi gorgeous, before you go, check out my new film on my fabulous psychics. A lot of people ask me for readings, I don't do them anymore, but for over 20 years I've had an award-winning team of psychics that I truly hand-pick. So check out the film, let me know what you think.
The purpose of a reading, I feel, is very much to inspire people and to empower people.
It's about hope, it's about guidance.
Using a phone or being with you, it will be the same, because the matter is spiritual.
It's very important for me that the client feels spirit with them. So it was a psychic reading.
I don't remember the readings right after, because it's not myself giving that, it's actually coming from spirit.
And it is a bit like a three-way conversation. I've got the person on the phone, I've got me, and I've got another voice that's telling me things.
I even shock myself, things that I come up with, and I think, how did I get that?
I'm channeling messages only for one purpose, to help people.
It's been able to help somebody have a map back to where they've got lost from.
My priority is to connect to your truth and have the best life that you can have.
I think in my readings people feel a sense of a safe space where they can really be themselves, let go.
You need a feeling of being understood, because reading should be empowering.
I will make sure when the reading is finished that you're happy with everything.
I couldn't do anything else. It's part of who I am. It's what I came here for, obviously.
And when they come back and tell you they've got their dream job or the love of their life, that really makes me feel like I'm valued.
I love to hear a sigh of relief. A lot of weight has been lifted off their shoulders.
We have the answers that we are looking for within ourselves. I know I have the tools to help you.
Everything begins and ends with you.